that? I know that you spent a lot of time overseas and learning much about the radicalization of individuals overseas, young men specifically. And when you look at the radicalization of this individual who shot up the top supermarket in Buffalo compared to those individuals that you've seen specifically in Afghanistan, where you have done a lot of work, what similarities do you see?
Well, during the course of my career, I feel like I've had a front row seat to this situation with radicalization of young men. In Afghanistan, you had a lot of disaffected youth from Afghanistan and from Pakistan, places where they didn't have opportunities, education or jobs, and they were turning to the Taliban because that was a sense of belonging and perhaps a small salary to go along with joining this radical organization. And then when I went to Iraq and was covering the war there with ISIS, we saw the radicalization of young men online. A lot of young men from the Middle East, from Europe, and yes, the US, coming to Iraq, joining ISIS and taking up this cause because they had been recruited online. Jump ahead to 2020 with the pandemic. We have a lot of disaffected youth who are isolated, alone, out of school, like this young man in Buffalo with the Buffalo shooting, who were radicalized because they had delved into this dark web of conspiracy theories and anti-Semitism and neo-Nazi propaganda, and they become consumed with it. And again, this young man may indeed have diagnosed problems, but that obviously doesn't excuse him. And too often is the case that you're correct, that these white shooters, and unfortunately, often is the case, it's these young white men who are older men even who are engaging in this terrible, terrible crimes and terrorist attacks, who are given this pass because, they've been isolated for so long, they're disaffected, they have mental problems. No, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.